So let's jump into the next part of the Hasbro Pulse Fan First Friday stuff. We got a lot still to tackle here. We'll just do a little bit of an update on one of the pieces of information that we discussed already a lot on the podcast, and it's that of the alternate universe Optimus Prime, aka the Leader Class Sleep Mode Optimus Prime toy. We already knew that it was going to be an Amazon exclusive. We already knew that this is going to be the alternate universe Optimus Prime, and it's the gray deco with the sparkless, character, aka he's dead. They just wanted to just give us an update and say that starting today, as of June 26th, 2020, live on Amazon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, pre-orders will go live. So if you're interested in picking up this figure, if you're hearing my voice right now, it either is gone live or it's going to be live soon. This guy is going live, so be sure to check that out and pick that up if you're interested in it. Now let's get into the two new Transformer Generation Selects reveals that they put here. Both of them are very interesting ones, to say the least. One of them even more so than another, at least for me. We're going to start first with Generation Selects Tigertrack. Now, what's cool about this one is Tigertrack was always one of those bizarre made after the fact Generation 1 characters. eHobby created that character just back in the day when eHobby was taking old G1 molds during the crazy slew of bookbox reissues and going, hey, how do we turn this into a new G1 character? How do we turn that into a new G1 character? It's where we got guys like Deep Cover, Sunstorm, Megaplex. The list goes on and on. I mean, well, Megaplex was more of a Machine Wars thing, but still the point is that it gave us a new character, and this character after the G1 release even got that of a Masterpiece release, which I think is like the peak pinnacle of that version of the character. Very well done and very nice. And it looks like through a little bit of history now, we're going to be able to, if you use toys as a form of fiction, through Generation Selects, we're going to get Tigertracks during his pre-Earth days with his Cybertronian design. Of course, this is using the Siege Sideswipe mold. It's going to obviously be turning into that, not Lamborghini futuristic Cybertronian kind of design. What's cool about this is that he comes both with the accessories of Red Alert and Sideswipe, so you get both the gun and the shoulder launcher, if you will. We don't see what the alt mode looks like, but again, based on previous Tigertrack toys, he's not going to have the light bar. He's going to be just the straight up, I guess, plain Lambo, if you will. I like this a lot. This is really cool. I like when they kind of go into the little bit of the history of Transformers and try to dig up some of those more obscure characters. And if Generation Selects is the platform that it can be used for in a world today where we don't have BotCon to be the place where you could put odd stuff, so be it. I dig it a lot. And again, Tigertrack's one of those characters that, I mean, he really just has that Masterpiece toy, that eHobby reissue, which was his first version, and then after that you kind of have to dive into third party. I mean, I have the Tigertracks, I have the world's smallest version, which was a third party one, which I really dig, which was pretty much they took the world's smallest official Sideswipe and they did it up in the Tigertracks color, so I really dig that. But then the next one here, and this is another one too that really catches my eye, just because of his obscurity and everything. And we kind of knew this one was coming because it was part of the Toys R Us listing leaks, where we had that huge list of all this product that's going to be coming. And we assumed initially that this was either going to be an Earthrise figure or a Generation Selects figure, and now that confirms it. And it's that of a Deluxe Generation Selects Rotorstorm. Now, what I really like about this is they did an amazing job of taking Spinister's Deluxe Siege toy and somehow painting it that it looks, I mean, I'm turning my head right now and I'm looking at my original UK G1 Rotorstorm, and it's amazing how well it works. It's amazing how just a little bit of paint in the right areas and just the right sculpting, how it still is the Spinister mold, but it works for Rotorstorm oddly enough just as well. And I mean, it's incredible. It looks really good. I like the use of everything. I mean, sure, we don't have the big turbine cannons that the original UK Rotorstorm G1 toy had. It has to work with the, I guess we'll call them, and I'm using air quotes here, the faux double target masters that come with the original Spinister that were repainted to just look like two separate guns here. again, it is what it is. You got to work within the confines of that. They didn't want to retool or repaint anything too much to make it that obvious. But at the end of the day, I like it a lot. It looks really good. And again, it's one of those really obscure characters that doesn't get enough love or attention. And if there's a way to kind of make that character appear elsewhere through any kind of other stuff, since you can't do it in retail because there's not enough slots, or you can't do it as a store exclusive because they have enough store exclusives already, this works. And it even begs to differ. It's like, hey, can we see this mold be used for, let's say, a Machine Wars Sandstorm later, considering how well this works as Rotorstorm, because Rotorstorm, his old mold, was used for Sandstorm later on, and it just works. It just works, and I'm very happy with the final product here. It looks really, really nice. And again, for people that are interested about picking these up, according to what they said here, both Tigertrack and Rotorstorm will be available for pre-order at 1 p.m. on the Hasbro Pulse website, as well as the fan channels, which is a separate kind of thing completely, but specifically the Hasbro Pulse website. Also, if you are Canadian, and I bring this up because sometimes buying on Hasbro Pulse is a little more difficult, and even some people across the pond in Europe and everything like that could be a little more expensive. If you have a Toys R Us in your region, these leaks initially popped up on Toys R Us's listings. And in the past, Toys R Us, for the countries that still have Toys R Us, they have a lot of these Hasbro Pulse stuff in their retail product on their shelving, like Crowmar and many others. So this is something that if you are interested in this stuff and Hasbro Pulse is either not an option for you or the shipping is too expensive, there is a strong chance that this stuff will show up in retail because it ended up on those retail listings for Toys R Us Canada. I think it was Toys R Us Canada initially that those listings were found in February. But yeah, so keep that as an extra option if you are interested in this product. This is really cool stuff. Again, I love obscure characters, and when they get a second life through any means, this is really cool. And to get Tigertrack and his pre Earth kind of design, I dig that a lot. Now we have a lot more Hasbro Pulse Fan First Friday, man, that's a tongue twister. Fan First Friday stuff to discuss, so we'll cover that in the next segment.